Well, I did place a brand new electric jack right here. And then I walked in to get the wipers. Oh, there it is. Oh my word, you can tell I just don't have it in me here. And you throw these wipers in the truck because they can go on anytime. Let me throw my keys in the, you know what? Let me start the truck. The truck hasn't been run. Heidi drove it last to do something. I don't even know what it was. Pick up salt. Oh no, I think the back of the truck's loaded with sand also. Shoot. Anyways, as I'm telling you, everything's going to be a fight today. Oh yeah, Heidi's been in there. She always has music playing. All right, so the projects are going to start on the RV and the repairs and all that stuff. Now, I'm not going to be necessarily showing you the repair today, but I've got so much work to do, and it's because I've been sick. So had to get a couple batteries. My wood cutting stuff that I use to cut cut wood. I'm telling you, I'm kind of loopy from all this cold stuff, and I'm not going to say a lot of stuff that makes sense or do a lot. Maybe I shouldn't be working on anything today. I bought this Porter cable set some time ago to replace I don't know, replace something. Another Porter cable set, an old Porter cable set, I remember now. And that set came with a couple of real small batteries. Oy. Well, those batteries, these little batteries here, they wear out kind of fast. And the Porter cable systems that I've had is old. This system's been, when I first got this, they just came out with this lithium max or whatever they call it. So I would run out of those batteries really fast, especially when using my little saw. And I use this saw for basically rebuilding our old. Anyways, so I finally went out and bought this battery. I don't know how long ago, and let's see, 2017 is the date on it. And let's see here, the date on these is 2016. So I had these, looks like, for, that seems about right, for about a year. They just weren't cutting it, so I went ahead and ordered this battery, and I don't remember how much it was. It was kind of expensive. Oh, it was $68, I think it was. Well, now they're $90. So I went ahead and got two more. I always stick with the original stuff because I've tried out some of the other things and don't necessarily work too well. They don't always have the capacity they say they do. So I need to cut those open and get them on a charger for projects. Okay, so let me put you in the camera so I can talk to you that way. So this bike here, if you guys don't know, this is the Velotric Go 1. And the reason it's out is because we've had these now for a couple of years. And I decided that it might be best to part ways with them. And we had that big Packer one that was a really nice bike. Well, we had somebody that, this is the disadvantages to doing reviews and stuff. Because we negotiated to get these things. And we had to do a couple videos and follow-ups and all this other stuff. And we love Velotric. I'm getting ready to do a couple of Velotric bikes right now, but the whole thing is then you got to deal with, you know, the bikes themselves. And in our case, we we'll resell this on Facebook Marketplace. But you got to deal with the people on Facebook Marketplace. And one of the problems is, like this lady says, yeah, I'm interested in the Go one, but I don't know, I would like the bigger one, I think. So I'd like to see the Packer one. So I'm like, all right. And then she said, I also would like to have that bike carrier that you have for sale. Like, all right, I guess. So we brought all that stuff out, got it all ready. You know, the batteries were stored in the basement because of cold weather. The material things, the things that could, potentially get infested or ruined by some sort of a rodent, we made sure we put those down in the basement also. And of course, I keep all my charger stations and books and catalogs and everything. They're all back here. So I've got all that. We had to get all that stuff out. And then she doesn't even look in the direction of this bike nor the bike rack, which this bike rack is heavy. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, she wanted the store open and she wanted all the lights on and all the merchandise ready to go. And she didn't even bump it. She didn't even touch it, turn her head, look at it, nothing. Now, why would somebody say they're interested in it and then just not? So, anyways, here we are. I'm going to come out here in the sun because it's kind of cold in the garage still. Plus, I haven't been outside forever. Oh, sun feels good. So the video that I did most recently, before this one post, is talk about the truck and me towing the RV, and how nice it was and how easy it was, and what I might do for a weight distribution system, because I didn't have one. But this didn't come with one, and the guy never used one, so he bought this new. It's a 2014, I think, and it's never had a weight distribution system hooked on at all. So I talked about it on the drive back of our only real good experience with dealing with weight distribution was with the ProPride system. Now, I had snap-up brackets with chains, the standard one, and it did fine. There was nothing wrong with that. And Heidi brought up a really good point, and it's something to think about. We know that we'll probably always be RVers. We know that we'll probably always have an RV. Wow, does it feel really nice back here? We'll probably always have an RV. And we're hoping that we'll be more than content with this smaller RV. If not, we'll probably get into something bigger. I've always said with the F-150, I wouldn't want to tow anything real big. I'm shaking my head because, if I'm getting 30 foot and I'm around 8,000 pounds, 8,800 pounds, with that F-150 chassis, I just don't know. I really don't know. But it's all depending on the frequency in which we tow. Now, if we decide that we're going to start snowbirding and traveling to Florida a lot, between here and Florida or whatever, then we do get a bigger RV, then I have to get a 3/4 ton truck. I just don't see an F-150 handling it at that point. Not based on what I felt when we were towing our travel trailer and we traveled the country. However, for this thing, an F-150 is going to be fine. But there's a lot of added benefits to the ProPride system that go beyond just good weight distribution. I'd argue to say that the weight distribution part is actually probably its weakest point when it comes to it being unique. It distributes the weight on the trailer and the vehicle equally, like any other weight distribution system that has either chains and bushings or snap-up brackets or bars that get put onto L brackets and and all that. They all pretty much do the same thing when it comes to weight redistribution. But what ProPride has hands down above anybody else by far is the sway control. As it doesn't control the sway, it just eliminates it. There is no sway. It's a physical impossibility. Based on the design, it just doesn't sway. I mean, I took that in consideration, thinking, wow, I don't know, was there scenarios in the past that I experienced sway with like a snap-up bracket system that I don't want to see again? Yeah, I remember when we went to Florida with the old travel trailer and the old truck, and the old travel trailer was smaller than this one, and the old truck was heavier than that F-150 I have now. It actually, you know, it was a longer truck, it was a heavier truck, it had a bigger engine in it actually, and believe it or not, the horsepower in that was probably, you know, it was pretty good. You know, I did a lot of work on that 460. But even with that system, you know, a nice snap-up bracket system, when trucks would pass, you know, I had to make an accommodation. When I say pass, let's say I'm in the slow lane and a tractor trailer is going to be passing me in the fast lane. As they're going past me, there is a wake. There is an air wake, a wind wake, some sort of a push that happens. And it's not just a push. Sometimes it's a push and then it's a pull. The driving as you're, you know, going along, say, oh, here comes a truck, and you just start getting used to it, and you know that, okay, I need to steer away from the truck, and then briefly you gotta steer into the truck and then back out. What I'm saying is towards that driver's lane as he's passing you, because it moves the truck and trailer. Well, with the ProPride, there's none of that. There's none at all. You don't experience that. It's just back there. You know, the trailer's just back there, and it's just following the truck and whatever the truck wants to do. That can't be beat. I mean, that feeling can't be beat. All right, the second thing that is something that I love and is probably a testament on how good it is, Heidi when we had the snap-up brackets, she wanted nothing to do with that whole system. She didn't like they were greasy, dirty, you know, and you got, you know, tension on these chains, and you've got your jack in your truck jacked up real high, and, you know, now there's weird tension there, and the truck's back tires are being compromised as far as their traction to the ground because you're lifting and decompressing the suspension on the back of the truck. There was a lot of stuff that she didn't care for when it come to that whole system. And again, snapping up the brackets with the chain or unsnapping them. She just didn't want nothing to do with that. You know, putting the bars in their trunnions, you know, putting them into the trunnion holders and all that crap. However, the ProPride is so easy to hook up and it's so straightforward. She's right there. She can do all that by herself if she wanted. She can see it. She knows what's going on. She's not afraid of it. It's not making any weird noises. It's not hard to do. It's quite simple all the way around, and it's clean. She doesn't get dirty from it. So that should tell you how easy it is to hook and unhook. Now, there's some finicky things that you got to learn about it, but once you learn those things, you'll never even want to go back to the old bar style that you got to be screwing around with that stuff. Okay, now the third thing, and this is what I like the most, I'll say third and fourth thing. The third thing is the angles in which that hitch will allow. You know, that the hitch does stick out a little ways from the tongue of the trailer, and of course you have that stinger on the back of your truck which sticks out a little ways. That's some added length. It's also added leverage to help you with the weight. But the thing that I most like about that is it allows you much greater, you can almost do a 90 degree with that hitch without jackknifing your trailer. So backing into things is a lot easier. And then I'll say the fourth thing is even though it adds weight to your trailer, if you have enough payload for your trailer, like in this case, this thing handles, I think it's 1,700 pounds. Well, it's actually 1,900 pounds of cargo. The trailer does. Of course, when you got water in there, that's going to take away from that. But even with a full tank of fresh water, you're still 1,700 pounds of payload. Well, let's say we put 800 pounds worth of our stuff in there. You're still 1,000 pounds that you have that you can put on the trailer. I'll put that tongue, system on there from ProPride, and it will add weight, a couple hundred pounds, probably 150 pounds at least, on the trailer, the tongue, but not really. It really goes to the truck. And the nice thing about that is, it's where it needs to be. It's in the front of the trailer, and that'll allow me to do some extra cargo carrying capabilities back here, because the trailer's so short. You don't want to put too much weight in the back of the trailer. You have to maintain that 10 to 15, 18% tongue weight for your loaded trailer. So the fact that if I put a different bumper system back here with some cargo, maybe a generator and a gas tank, which I'm kind of thinking about that still, that makes it to where I have weight distributed correctly. And that's the most important part, to have it where the loaded weight is already correct. That is the best way to reduce your sway by far, and keep your towing safe, is make sure when you load up your trailer, you load it up correctly in the first place. So that was a consideration. All right, so now you're talking about the price. The thing that I like about ProPride is it's made in America. They've got excellent customer service. Their product is wanted. It's wanted by if everybody was told that they could buy a ProPride for $300, every trailer in this country would be pulled with a ProPride, because it's so easy to be used and all those benefits are there. The problem arises is whenever you start talking about the price, then you've got to start considering, okay, what's my safety worth? I've got a truck that's worth X amount of thousands of tens of thousands of dollars. I've got a trailer that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Should I go out and spend $400 for a hitch that could potentially cause both of those vehicles to be totaled, and of course people injured? Believe it or not, a lot of people say yes, and they go that route. Just take it in consideration that there's a reason why that unit demands so much money. And ProPride, they do offer financing. I mean, if you want to go that route. Again, I even said it in the video when I was coming back, the last video that I posted before this one, or the last update video that I posted before this one. What about the money? What did I think about the money and the cost? And it's tough. It was a tough thing. That's a decent amount to consider. But when it came right down to it, the person that has the purse strings, the person that is very thrifty and level-headed and not an impulse buyer at all. I told Heidi I was looking at a few different hitches, and she says, why aren't we going with the ProPride again? And I said, well, the cost, we're not towing like we did. We're not towing full time. And the trailer's not very big. She goes, yeah, but what if we get into something bigger? She goes, now you've invested $400 to $700 in a hitch that may not work for the next trailer, and you probably won't want to pull a bigger trailer if you don't have a ProPride hitch. She says, I know what you can get by with. She said, but is that the right way to go? And she says, just call ProPride. She goes, that's the thing to do. So that's what we did, and that's what we have in those boxes. We have a ProPride hitch. We will be installing a ProPride hitch on this. I'm not going to be doing a full installation because I already did a full installation video, and it was pretty well received. I think that I overcomplicated a couple things, but for the most part, it shows you everything you need to know. And I can't wait to do it on this one. I think the frame on this, though, is quite a bit smaller. I'll have to see, and that's something to double check with this. You got to make sure when you're doing weight distribution, especially on a smaller trailer, do not, whatever you do, get a weight distribution system that's overkill. Don't think, oh, it only, this tongue weight's only 500 pounds or 600 pounds. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and get a hitch that handles 1,000. That way in the future, I can always, have a hitch that I can take off and use for my next trailer. Well, that 1,000-pound weight distribution, it won't even start bending the bars to do its job the right way. And I'm going to tell you that it will make it'll bend the frame on this. I mean, our Terry travel trailer that weighed 6,200 pounds fully loaded, it was 4,300 pounds empty. I had the original manuals from 92, sorry, it was a 92. And in those manuals, it said do not exceed 800 pounds for the weight distribution bars. So even though I had 1,000-pound bars, I never, ever engaged them fully. I always kept them set really light, and I did that with the angle of the system that I had. And it's the same with this. I got 1,000-pound bars. I'm just going to make sure that I set the angle of the hitch to where whenever I put the jacks up that pull the tension on the weight distribution bars, that it's pretty lightweight. So anyways, that's what this is. This is the ProPride system. Thanks to Brent up at ProPride. I didn't talk to Sean this time, but Brent, we've dealt with him in the past, and just great people to deal with. And man, are they fast. To Northeast Ohio, they shipped this yesterday from Michigan, and it showed up here. And it's just regular FedEx. It's not anything, overnight express or anything like that. So I can't wait to install that. It's kind of like buying a Tinker toy set for somebody. It's something I get to play with. I can't wait. But in the meantime, I need to get myself organized here a little better. I need to get some stuff straightened out. And more importantly, I need to do a video on my next electric bike. And then I have another one right behind that. Then I have another one right behind that. Then I think I have another one that's coming that'll be right behind that. And then I have something. You know what? It's just constant. And I'm thinking I might want to change my ways on that. I really missed... I miss doing the videos where I can just post what I'm doing daily and, get those up at a more greater frequency than I am currently. I think with this project that's going on, I'm going to have to stop almost all my reviews, except for my products that are definitely needed for the RV. I'll tell you right now that I've got to get hold of Beach Lane. I love Beach Lane. You guys know that. And I've been dealing with Jack down there for some time. I need to get levelers. Look, I got boards and crap underneath here. I don't have wheel chocks anymore. The wheel chocks that I did, my homemade wheel chocks, they were kind of like a poor man's X-Chalk. He's got a really nice set that kind of ratchets in between the two. It's just, you use your hand and it's just a grip. The other thing that he came out with, and I'd like to think that I was helping him with the design, because he would ask me what I thought about it, and he did finally come out with it. He has his own leveling system that, when I say leveler, it's level indicating system. So it's kind of like that one that I used to have. I can't remember what it was called. Mine was a little box. It's popular. Everybody orders it. Well, anyways, Beach Lane has one. And he made his app, I think, even better than what theirs was. But it's one of those that you put inside while your RV's level. You basically set it, and say, this is level. And then from that point on your phone, all I got to do is be able to, turn it on or whatever. And when I get into a parking spot for the night, whether it be Walmart or whatever, I can turn that thing on and I can sit with my phone in the truck and I can drive the parking lot and find, you know, Walmart parking lots, they always slope towards drains and stuff. And a lot of those drains are put into the corners or the edges or sides of the parking lot. Well, what happens is, you know, whenever they say, yeah, you can park your RV in the Walmart parking lot for the night, it's usually they say go to the far north side or whatever. Anyways, you can use those drains and stuff to park your truck and your rig to where it's nice and level. And then, of course, I can use my tongue jack to kind of do that too. Now, my tongue jack, the one that I did a review on a few years ago, it was a Husky, and it was brutal. It was nice. I got to get rid of this. I can't be cranking these things up and down. Not anymore. I'm past that. So I looked at the Husky, and it was awful expensive. I'm like, it's overkill. It's way too much for this trailer. So I found one. So I'll do a review on that. That's what this one is here. We'll see how nice it is. It's called a Bastion, I believe. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a different version of the word Bastion. One of the things I want you to be aware of whenever you get your Pro Pride kit, they're packaged extremely well. Very well. Only as good as they need to keep up with FedEx and how bad they beat stuff up. Now, remember, part of your purchase also is, of course, going to be the shipping, in which they ultimately take care of shipping on everything. Whew, I'm out of breath. And why am I out of breath? Well, this one here is no big deal. 4 pounds, right? How about this one here? This one's 40. How about this one here? 55. How about this package here? That's 60. How about the package on the bottom? That's 80. So whenever you get your package, make sure that you get FedEx to deliver the package where you want it to be delivered to. Because if not, you're going to have to handle it again. I wouldn't want to do that. So Heidi decided to bless us with her. Did you carry any of those boxes?
Carry what box? No.
Okay, so I was just telling the camera.
No.
Because I just moved them.
I got lots of... I just thought I would come out and get some fresh air. My eyes are...
Yeah. So I've got stuff being reorganized here. I'm getting a little bit closer to being able to actually do work out here again. Your garage door closed automatically. You guys, I did that. I know a lot of you don't watch our reviews, but if you're looking for a garage door opener, and what I'm talking about is a smart garage door opener, get that little box. I did a review on it. It's called Maross. It will control up to 3 garage doors. I just have it controlling 2. And yes, I do have another system that's controlling this one. I actually have 2 smart systems that control this one door, and that's just my own preference. No rhyme or reason other than this one adds a camera. So the reason that I'm talking about those other kits, or that other kit, is it's fair priced. It's an easy installation. And if you go into the app, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Like in our case, we say after 45 minutes, close this garage door, regardless. Now I can override that. I can say don't follow that rule. But I can also say, hey, if it's 12 at night to 10 till let's say 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. If that garage door is open for longer than 3 minutes, close it automatically. So it's nice that you can set that stuff up, and you can do that on just certain days of the week. That's the other thing. But it's really nice because between the car and that, I can just hop in bed or stay in bed, and then Heidi, she'll get up, maybe go to work, and I'll open the door for her, and I'll start the car. And by the time she gets in, it's warm. Was it warm this morning? Mm-hmm. Now, she didn't go to work this morning, but she did go out and get us a little Burger King action. So finally, I got to the point where I'm going to be able to at least get this out and make sure that it fits on the RV, because I took no measurements whatsoever. And yeah, it's turned out to be a pretty decent day. Tomorrow is going to be in the mid to upper 70s.
I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, and neither one, and you won't be cured. I won't be fully cured, but I'm getting a little better today.
No, but I work tomorrow, then Saturday, then I have another day off. So
Yikes.
yeah. trying to recover on your days off because you still have to go to work. Stinks.
Yeah. How many sick hours do you have available?
I don't have as many as 80 maybe, 70.
She used to have 240
or 60. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
And how many years did you have that?
Well, for many years because I never used them.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't use them for a sick day.
Somehow I ended up with some when I came back.
So let's do the running joke. Heidi, if you're sick, who you call off to?
Myself.
So then what she does is when she calls herself and lets her know that she's not coming in, then she goes ahead and finds somebody to replace her, which is her. Because they're short-staffed.
Yeah, we like every other week somebody should be on vacation because they have so many people with tenure.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen is you'll get to the point where you're just going to you'll have to send 2 people on, vacation the same weeks and bring somebody from another store. All right, so
I'm going to go back in.
like I said, all I'm going to do is because I'm running out of a little bit of steam, believe it or not.
Why wouldn't I come out and see if you wanted something for lunch?
Yeah.
I'm going to make dinner.
Yeah. I want Taco Bell.
It's funny that you say that.
I mean,
I was thinking Taco Bell.
That's not a normal thing for us. We go to Taco Bell once every 2 months, maybe. So that's kind of strange. We're both on that page.
All right. Well, I'll see if Bud wants Taco Bell.
Get it out of the box. Yes, it is fine. It's absolutely fine. So my truck is dirty. I'm asking Heidi why she didn't wash it.
My car's dirty too.
Her car's dirty.
I might take my car over later.
So look at the bags out there by the road. That's because Heidi was doing... Oh, we've got the air running in the RV. Smells a little moldy, but we figured it'd run it and dry it out. And it's pretty cold inside there. The generator... Here's a funny thing. We have, I think, 30 amp going to the garage. And we have 50 amp going to the, 100 amp going to the pole building. And here I am running the generator because we don't have enough voltage to run the air conditioner without using it. You know what we could do? I want to show these guys this real quick. Of course, I mowed the yard. You've seen that already on the fast time. See this thing that's sticking out right there? Not the air conditioner vents, not the air conditioner, not the junction box for the air conditioner. That connection, it's right underneath that window. If you look, there's a ditch kind of that goes all along here. It's low and it goes all the way out right to the pole building. So I had a slight thought of what if we put a bunch of gravel over here. I'll see what Heidi thinks. And then we put a 50 amp pedestal here, because they can dig that up and tie into it.
Oh. What, so you can back it in right here?
Or, yeah, crooked like this, like it is right now,
well,
but this way.
The only way that you could do that is if you got rid of the grass before you put gravel back.
That's ridiculous. She thinks that grass can grow through the gravel. Like, look, there's no grass growing. Oh, well, wait a minute. Maybe there is.
In 5 years, you won't be able to see the gravel.
So, yeah. Well, we'll spray some stuff down there.
He said will. We will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we will.
That's just like Heidi said. I will do the garden. I'm going to have me a garden. Now, she knows darn well I'll eat whatever she grows, so I thought I'd better come out here and help.
There was so much plastic.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I mean, they didn't use it for what we're going to use it for.
Right.
So, we're going to have ourselves a garden, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't really have a green thumb,
But it's really good soil.
Yeah.
Really good soil.
Well, it seems really nice, and we're not going to get any more.
And the landscape ties are in really good shape, I see.
They'll be good for this year.
If you guys know what these trees are, tell us. It has something to do with bees, maybe?
I have 3 of them down there. I'm not replanting them.
Yeah, she pulled them out.
They were on top of the...
And then we have a big tall thing there. We don't know what it is.
Almost a pawpaw something.
No, no, don't tell me it's pawpaw.
You have to ask Bud.
Oh
Jojo,
my God.
I don't know. It's something for bees.
Okay, don't tell me it's a pawpaw, because that guy that came and stopped here wanted to know where the pawpaw root was, or the pawpaw tree.
Well, probably in the garbage. You have to ask Bud what that. It's that, I think.
Maybe I should call him and ask him. Well, if you don't want it, he's a beekeeper.
I'm not taking any more out. I'm only.
Let him do it. He's a beekeeper.
Well, why didn't you just tell him to go look?
Well, I didn't think that anything about it. I just figured it was a tree. All right.
But anyway.
So, anyways, inside the the RV is pretty air conditioned. Oh,
Not bad.
I don't have a. Oh, I meant to tell you this. First of all, I don't have a thermostat in here to tell me what the temperature is. But you know how the thermostat's broken here? It's not working. Guess what? We kept the one from the Rockwood when we converted over to that Wi-Fi. Oh my God, yeah. We have so much.
Probably actually have too much stuff because
wow.
we're gonna have to go lightly with this.
Holly, go lightly. I was looking the other day and talking about projects. Heidi will laugh. There was a guy that was selling 2 brand new ones in the box. I don't know how they had them. He said it's for a project that he decided not to do. You get rid of these and put automatic levelers with buttons, like it was $500 instead of $600 a piece. He wanted $500 for the pair.
I know, but I don't think we need it for this little thing.
I don't know. I guess if you run the drill every time you level it.
The thing is if we're reselling it, we're not putting a bunch of.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Heidi was talking already about getting an Airstream, and then she talked about getting a Super Duty with a 5th wheel again.
First, they're saving your pennies.
We got to go camping with this though. We want to do some trips like we did with the Terry camper. That's what I want to do. But
we probably won't be leaving Ohio this year, I don't think.
These guys are hating that they're here, and I know these guys probably hate that all they hear is the generator. They can't hear us talking.
Anyway, you need to break the gravel in here.
I need more gravel.
Break your ankle.
Break an ankle.
Break an ankle. Anyway, we're
So-
gonna go in.
So Heidi got crickets on her car the other day. The guy said, I want to come out and look at it. Then another one, oh, it was a good one. We always get these spam stuff. This person was in Michigan talking about take a picture of the undercarriage and I want the VIN number, like they need that. And then they talked about why it would be the right car and why their car was, they needed it because it was damaged and their car got into an accident and all that stuff. See, there's Bud. He's not traveling in his van, for all you people that want to know. That van's long gone. But anyways, that's it. We're closing this off and our air conditioner is on and it feels pretty good. So if you've been watching us for quite some time, the old Terry travel trailer that we used to have, my table's a little wobbly. We took that down through Florida, and I think it was a little over 14 days we took, and we traveled all through Florida, the entire state. And this was before I had a generator set up that was easy to use during our travels. I had a cap on the truck. I didn't want to leave the cap, the tailgate down and the cap unlocked with all the stuff that we had in the back while we stayed the night at a truck stop or whatever, running the generator. So basically it was in the middle of the summer. It was hot. It was really, really hot. So Heidi went in and she had bought a little portable fan that ran on batteries at Walmart, because we stayed at Walmart for one of the nights. And that fan was like life-saving, and it was only that big, and it blew just enough air to keep me cool. Not that it's a sight that I want you guys to imagine, but I was pretty much stripped down to just my underoos laying in bed with no covers,
with all the windows open and this little fan blowing on me to keep me cool in the middle of the summer in the back of that RV. Heidi wasn't wearing much herself. She was pretty bare because it was just so warm. It was really hot. I mean, it was like 80 degrees and we were, you know. So that little fan did quite a good job. And I always thought, well, you know, the fans always, you know, if you don't know, fans are what are designed mainly just to keep people cool. I mean, of course, it circulates air. That helps with promoting air to be, you know, cool air, not stagnant air, but cool air to be circulated throughout whatever the room is or the area is. But more importantly than anything else, if you keep yourself hydrated and you have a fan, you can pretty much stay cool in almost any temperature, but you have to have a fan that's got good strength as far as the wind, the ability for it to blow, and of course longevity. And as far as camping goes, this one here has got a built-in battery. It is it is really, really cool. So it's an Ogery camping fan. This is a model F11. They make a bunch of different models, but it has lights built into it. You can rotate the angle, which we'll see here. It has, of course, high, low, you know, medium. It has different speeds to blow. And of course, you'll adjust that according to what you need. And that makes the battery last longer. As long as you use the lowest setting that still makes you feel cool, it makes the battery last even longer, which some people have reported on this. And they're saying that this thing will run 12 hours. Now, I like to sleep in, but I'm not going to sleep for 12 hours, but it'd sure be nice to have this be able to cool me off for 12 hours straight. I can't believe how far this whole lithium ion technology has gone. Being an older person, I mean, when we had NiCad batteries, which I don't have any of those anymore, I remember that was a big deal. It's like, wow, these, you know, nickel cadmium batteries they last, wow, they do a good job compared to what we're used to. And now lithium just through the roof. And of course, this is lithium. You can see they give you a USB-C to USB-C recharge. You can use this as a battery bank to some extent if you want to charge some stuff up. There's a remote control for this. So let me get this out. Like I said, there's a couple of different features on it. And this is the packaging that comes in, you can see, and it comes through Amazon. It's really quick. There'll be a link in the description for this. I may have a discount code, check that out. But I was excited whenever I seen this because immediately I had flashbacks of when we were on the road, and I had the same thoughts of, oh my word, I remember when it was so hot inside of our RV, it would have been so nice to have something like this. Let me go ahead and show you what it's got on here. You've got how long you want it to run before it shuts off. 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, or you can just leave it on constantly. Shows the percentages. These are all gauges, a little LED light. So it shows you the percentage of the battery, shows you the fan speed. There's a night mode. There's a light, of course. I love the fact that this thing will point, you know. But there's even more to that. I'll show you that here in a second. I'm sure this is for the fan speed. Yeah, I turned it on just by bumping it. That's cool that it immediately did that. What else does it do? It oscillates. Now, is that not awesome or what? Yeah, when I seen that it oscillated, I'm like, I'm all for that. The links will be down below for this. Click the link. Again, there may be a discount there. I'm not sure. But either way, that is really cool. It's not very heavy. It's not, but you could tell there's definitely a lithium battery in there. Again, 20,000 milliamp hour. That's it. Let me get to work. So although I have a bike carrier, I decided not to bend down and screw around with the hitch and all that good stuff. And instead just put these in the back and strap them down. The problem with that is, boy, I sure do miss the Super Duty's step to get up in the tailgate. You know, the Super Duties that we had both had a thing that once you put the tailgate down, a step dropped out and the handle came up and made it a lot easier getting out of the truck. But nonetheless, they're secure in there for all the further we're going, which is right up the street. And when I say we, the sick girl's home from work today.
Not homesick.
No, she's off. She only took the one day off sick. And I had to make her do that. So we're going to the bike trail and we're going to try out these bikes and see what they're like. All right, we're going to see what the Nomad can do here. Heidi's going to see what hers can do, I'm sure. And this is pedaling very easily. Really no effort. Now I'm using throttle only. Talk about video continuity. We're in a car. Why are we in the car? Well, we decided to ride the bikes back to the house instead of the trailhead, and then me loading them up on the truck and, you know, driving back. And we wanted to see what it was like using the road to go to the trail, and quite honestly, I don't see much of a reason to load the bikes on the truck or a rack or anything. I don't know what this person is doing. They just decided to say hi to the neighbors and how you doing, and don't worry about the traffic behind us, we're all good. And
that's one thing that's concerning about being on this street, even though it's 45. Most people that probably live on this street or travel between their jobs and stuff on the street.
I say they wait for everybody.
It's 45, and most people don't do 45. They do 55 or 65 or 70.
There's a car that never made it, that Crossfire.
Yeah.
So again, going this way, the trailhead's right. I mean, it's right up the street.
This isn't bad. I mean, we could do the on the other side of the white line. There is enough space.
Getting there.
But I see people walking down through here, and it's like,
it's pretty, yeah, it's, now, speeds on this road, this is a state route. Yeah, this is definitely 55. So that means everybody does 60. So yeah, this place is happening. Oh, there's a truck looks just like mine in the parking lot up here. How nice is that? Yeah, I don't have any worries about this any longer. I don't think. We'll just, from now on, I think we'll just ride our bikes.
There you go. He's got an electric bike.
He's got an electric bike, sure. All right. I love it. Thanks for giving me a ride, Uber driver. Do I need to give you a tip?
Can give me a tip later.
Okay. Well, just a quick update in between raindrops. We have some storms coming again. They already came through here once earlier today, and I just heard thunder. You can see that, right? All right, so we've got some reviews that we've done, and we've got some crazy things that we're reviewing. So our grandson's birthday's coming up. We did a review on this. We're gonna have him riding. I'm just getting to where I'm going to be editing these videos here on these two bikes, which are awesome. I have a mobility scooter that I'm going to be doing a review on. I have yet the generator project that has to be completed. I have a RV gas water heater that I've got to do an unboxing on because it's the wrong one, so unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. We have an Apis. This is Apis. We've done a few of their bikes. We did their C3. We did their M1. We did another one. I can't remember what it is. But this one is their folding bike. This is a new brand that I'm doing a review on. Have no clue about that. We still got to do the Pro Pride installation. I have a review that I'll be doing on a garage storage unit. You know, us being in a home now, we kind of, you know, it's mix match. Not sure exactly how to say that any other way. Some of the stuff's home, some of it's RV. If you have a home and you're an RVer, there's potential that you might want to utilize something like this to keep your RV stuff up and out of the way. I seen a guy lift the cap off his truck with that thing. I'll have to see how that works. And then this thing is cool. And again, might be something that you might utilize. You know, campground, maybe going up to the camp store. This is a folding wagon that is powered by two 500-watt motors. And 3 adults can stand inside of it. Can you believe that? Can't wait to see that. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on. I have a lot of work to do. Okay, so here's the problem now that I zoomed out here and you can get a bigger picture. The kitchen is got the worst ergonomics in the world. Look at how this is all. I know it's a wide angle camera. There's some distortion going on here, but I'm telling you, this is a normal doorway. And you can see that the refrigerator protrusion matching up to the stove is actually smaller than a standard doorway. And everybody comes to our house comes through this back door. And we have that little tiny porch back there. And we just have the concrete, and it's like the dirt and the crap that's on the concrete comes up on the porch. It's always filthy. And it's not like right now, Heidi's got different shoes on because she's doing cleaning, and she was just outside. But I wear slippers. My son wears slippers. Heidi wears no shoes. Most times she'll kick them off once she gets in the door. And yet our floor is always filthy. And it's just the ergonomics of this place is horrible. Now, we've thought about all kinds of stuff. Like removing this pantry and moving it on this side of the wall so that the refrigerator could be potentially back further. Behind this wall is the stairwell going down to the basement. And as it goes down, I'm pretty sure that behind this up high, it's empty. I know it's empty. There's nothing above there.
I wonder if they make a refrigerator that's not as deep.
Well, the problem is okay. Does it look like we need a smaller refrigerator, guys? Look at it.
That's our son's stuff.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, a few of our stuff.
We need it. The refrigerator's fine. It just needs to be different. Here's the problem. We can't put it over there. That's in front of the window. We could reorganize the cabinets and try to put the refrigerator over in that corner, but then we lose counter space. The microwave we need to make. I think the microwave should go above.
No, I disagree.
No, I don't think it's old school. See, so our kitchen is 100% the newest, greatest, latest, updated ergonomic design. So we should make sure we don't clutter it up by putting in an old design microwave mount, right? Oh, no, that's right. Our kitchen is dated. So why wouldn't we use the dated technology to get the space back?
Because
it's about space. It's about space.
It is about space, but it's a waste.
How's it waste?
That microwave thing with it's dated. People just don't do that. I mean, we could probably honestly do without a microwave.
No way. Heidi is saying some crazy scientific space age alien stuff there.
Anyway.
We used to microwave all the time. I know I do.
Yeah, I guess you and Bud did.
Yeah.
I don't use it that much.
But yeah.
Not even at work I don't use it that much.
We just have to we thought we was going to put a cart here. The cart didn't work. The ice maker's going bye-bye. This is the one that we had when we were RVing. We used it at our old house. It works exceptionally well. There's nothing wrong with it. Heidi's going to take it to her work. We have an automatic ice maker again in the fridge. So even though we like those little cubes, and we did a review on that in the past. The thing is, we talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about taking this wall and halving it or lowering it making this like an open to this room, which this room is awesome. If you guys, although it's messy, look how nice and airy all this is. It's, you know, big, again, messy. There's all this stuff needs put where it needs to go, but we're in different stages of cleaning different things, like the basement. We need to finish the basement. We need to make it to where it's more office. The problem is it's used for storage now.
And yes, we have too much stuff already.
Yeah, we do have a lot of stuff, which we'll have a yard sale, which should help out considerably. But
From not having anything to having too much.
I don't know, like, I mean, you could kind of see now that I'm standing over in this corner, it's just so cluttered. When we came and looked at this house, there was a table here, and he was sitting at the table, John, which sadly John passed away. Couldn't believe. Oh, really? I still can't believe it. So anyways, yeah, there was a table here, and I thought, well, that's not going to work. I mean, it just made it even more cluttered. So we've got a weird situation here. That's why we were talking about a bigger deck on the back, and then we were thinking about some point maybe kind of putting a roof over it of some kind, but it doesn't work with the driveway and the way it's designed for driving in and out back to the pole building with anything substantial, you know, anything of size. So we're kind of stuck. We're stuck. And if you don't know, that's the door that goes to the basement. That door there we don't ever use. That goes to our bathroom, our personal bathroom. At some point in time, we may just close that off entirely and maybe make some kind of shelving in there for linen storage, because that could be a very shallow closet for linen storage. But yeah, we just don't know what else to do. It just seems weird. All of it seems like they designed this room last. The other thing that we could do that would work, all except for getting stuff in and out of the basement, is we could actually close off this basement access and probably gain, I don't know, something there, a pretty substantial amount, and then make our access to the basement, the steps here, and go down to the basement this way. You know, this could be a door and go down, but that's too much. That's too much work. So anyways, the whole idea was I was talking about that little rake for the dustpan. But man, this floor is like this all the time. We're cleaning it all the time. I've cleaned it a couple times. Heidi's cleaned it a bunch of times. Our son's cleaned it a couple times. And yet we haven't mopped our living room floor but once. That's crazy.
Living room, I've done the living room multiple times.
Heidi's telling us that not as much as the kitchen. We've all taken turns doing the kitchen.
The thing is I've done the living room when I've done this. I've done the living room a lot, actually. Yep. You were sleeping on multiple occasions when I was doing it.
Heidi's telling a fib.
I wouldn't fib to you two.
I don't know.
I don't think they really care how many times I've mopped the floor.
I don't think that they realize how filthy this floor is all the time.
I mean, Jesus, you can see it.
It's every day. Every day.
Every day that somebody goes out and comes back in.
And again, it's not like we don't take off our shoes. Our son, I mean, those are his Crocs. It's either his Crocs or his slippers that are always sitting there. He don't ever wear his shoes in. I don't wear my shoes in. Heidi don't wear her shoes in. She may wear her shoes in.
I wear my shoes into the dining room.
Yeah, she'll take them into the dining room and she'll kick them off right there. But it's just the nature of this floor. I don't know. If you guys have an idea, draw up a nice design and submit it to rvdaydream@gmail.com.
It has to match the kitchen. I can't envision just a piece of whatever.
No, you need to send in your designs and Heidi will be happy to review them. It's funny because Heidi had come back about a half an hour ago with her car from the pizza shop. She picked up some pizza. And listen to this. Do you know that is 100% normal? This car has a thing in it, and I'm sure other ones do now, I just don't know of it, that it is doing that to dry out the condenser so you don't get moldy smell from your air conditioner or that air conditioning smell. So it's drying out the condenser, the fins inside there. Isn't that awesome? I didn't even know they did that. Okay, well, I came out to the garage to try to get some stuff straightened out, but I want to go look at the RV since it rained really hard the last couple days. Unfortunately, I got to kind of hunch over for this camera, but my chest is too barrel-like. Does that make sense? I'm also going to put out this awning. Oh, but before I do, one of the things that I noticed is the door here. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this door is it's bulged out a little bit. So what I've been doing, oh, I locked it. Shoot, I didn't realize I locked it. What I've been doing is leaving the door up, so the water that goes down in here comes back out again. Let's take a look at the RV. First thing I'm going to do though is put out the awning. Smells nice in here. Heidi's got these smelly things in here. The awning goes out just fine. Unfortunately, whenever it comes back in, it's slow and it's wet. Like I said, it's been raining. Look at all the water that it holds. Now, I've seen some stuff on YouTube. I've never tried it. The guys spray their awnings with bleach. You know, when they've got these black spots all over. And then what they do is they roll their awning up and let it soak. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, but all right. Let's take a peek. Well, I was turning on the porch light, thinking I was turning on a light here. All right, so let's really look at this today as far as the water's concerned. See, now there's something I don't like. Do you hear that noise? That's the fan running, and that's because the battery is not holding its own. Now, the other day when I did this, it did not do all this noise. I gotta mute my phone. So the idea there is that I think, oops, whoop, cancel. What I'm doing is muting the notifications. Let me get that back open. There we go. So what I think there is that something's going on with the state of charge with the battery. Now here's the thing. I don't even know if I've got a battery gauge that works. I mean, I have a multimeter, and unfortunately the battery died in it. So it's just been sitting here. I used to have 2 multimeters just for this reason. Actually, I had 3. Come on. You're serious. Look at all this organization. How could this be such a problem? So I've had this multimeter for a while, and oh, good. It's back on. It's a good thing, right? Here, I'll try to set this up here so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I don't know if you can, though. Now we'll just have to tilt it down here. Somebody's playing Journey. I think it's the neighbor. Oh, see, my meter quit. Oh, there it started working again. Okay, this isn't going to work. I can't show you. 13.63 volts. can't tell you why it would be doing what it's doing then. I don't understand. Those lights are not enough for the these lights don't draw enough voltage from that battery to make the converter fan run. I mean, that's just not enough voltage. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try to turn on the fan. That's AC. I don't know why I thought that'd be something. There's a water pump. I could unplug the RV. See what the battery voltage says on the gauge. What do you guys think about that? Let's do that. All right. Now there's no voltage going at all. And the lights are on. Let's see what the and the fuel pump or water pump's on. Oh, see, doesn't say the battery's full. There's a problem with the battery. There's definitely a problem with the battery. Let me go read what the voltage is at the battery now, because it doesn't say full, and this thing's been plugged in for days and days and days and days and days with the battery connected. 12.5. Yeah, it sucks. Let's just say that. That's okay, because I have a battery. I have a battery I can use. It's a lithium battery though, so I have to change my charger. Oh well. I'll continue to use this one until it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, like I said, when we turn on lights, let's go ahead and turn on the porch light. We'll turn on the bathroom light, which wherever the switch is at. Oh, this is a budget camera, or a budget camper. Forgot. Then we'll turn on this light. We'll turn on this light. And then we'll turn on this light here. Heidi was saying, what do you think about switching these lights over and making them LED? I'm like, I don't know, I guess. Yeah, I don't like that I gotta reach up for that light. What do you do at night when you want to go to sleep? You know? Okay, so we got, oh, I must turn on that light. Let's see what the battery says now. Yeah, E. Battery says E. Let's go out and read that voltage. Let's get back out here. Flip this up. 11.98. Well, it's holding. Let's just say that. Let's try a battery load test. I don't think it'll work, but it says it's okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys have a problem with your battery on your rig not powering everything to where your inverter has to run? I don't know, but let's plug her back in. We're gonna hear a little snap. See that? All right, enough of that. Now, I don't fully expect for you guys to see what I'm seeing here, but I'm just looking to see what I can do. Okay, we know this is the panel. Well, unfortunately, I have to cover this bed. I think this bed's going to be the holder of the junk. Turn off this light. We'll put this stuff somewhere that's out of the way. We'll put it up here for now. It's kind of nice. As far as the RV's concerned, you know, there's a lot of stuff here that, you know, you can remember a time that this was probably really cool. And I don't expect you guys to necessarily see all this stuff, but I'll take it out. Look at this. 50th anniversary cups, right? That's cool. I think that's really cool. Here you got 1,000 Trails camping thing. It's got a little deal here, right? It says Labor Day 2017. But it's 1,000 Trails towel. I don't know what this is. A trivet, so don't burn the thing. Look at this. It's got a StarCraft 50th anniversary cozy. We left a couple plates in here. And one of the plates, look at that. Isn't that nice? I mean, all that stuff was originally to the vehicle, because this is a 50th anniversary. It's just 50th anniversary of water. Just didn't let it go. All right, let me dig through here. I'm going to pull this stuff out. All right, here we are. Time of times. I need to start peeling this stuff back and seeing what's in here and destroying the stuff that we can't duplicate. And that's all of this. What is this called? Wallpaper or whatever. So here we go. So far so good. It's not destroyed. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Yep. So I think if I score a line that's roughly maybe here, we'll get the paper to come out. Oh, this corner's really, wow, it's up on this corner too, guys. So it looks like both corners were leaking. So we'll have to meet in the middle there. I definitely need to get a, you know what, I could just put a trash can, I suppose, outside this window. Ooh, what a nice breeze. That's a really nice breeze coming through. Yeah, we could probably just pop this screen out, huh? And just throw the trash out the back. I don't see why not. I'm having a hard time seeing because the light outside is brighter than the light inside here, and I can't really see. I know these screens just pop out. I just don't know how specifically on this one. There's one and there's two. So yeah, I could just throw this stuff out the back. That makes demolition a little easier. But yeah, you can see, look at that. And then this wall, same way. Might as well go this direction here. See how far we got to go with this, huh? We'll just let the terror decide, huh? Look at all that, guys. Some of the insulation is good, huh? We got the camera running back here. Yeah, it's on me. But this is the metal. See, this is the good thing about stick and brick. It's not very much to...
So you can build from the inside?
Yeah, all I gotta do is just take out what's here, obviously. And these rotten bottom boards. And, just replace. Whoop, that one went up higher than I wanted. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, some of the wood here needs replaced. Well, actually, even this wood, even though, oh yeah, this one's rotted through. So I have to replace that board. I just wanted to get to this direction here. See what this one's like. This one was probably because the window leaked. And the reason that the window would leak is because they didn't clear the tracks out. There's, those tracks that are there. Little holes, little weep holes. So is this scaring you guys? Everybody watching right now, how many are cringing going, oh my God? This doesn't scare, none of this scares me. The wood actually is pretty solid once, you keep it dry. You get it dry, which we'll run the fan in here and it'll dry all this out. Might have to get the big shot back out for this, honey. So yeah, there's some corner pieces here that need to be redone, obviously. Some corner wood. This base wood has a couple of spots in it that are just really pretty rough, but this will all dry out. I mean, that's good. This is on the frame here. Yeah, the wood here will have to get replaced. This corner piece here, maybe this corner piece here, possibly. No, this is pretty substantial. We'll just have to kill some of this mold that's in here. All right, guys, so now it's time to move to the other corner and see what that looks like. Which I expect to be close to the same. Yeah. It's not as high. I don't think it's going to be as high. Yep, I don't think it's as high. Almost. All this is because the caulking wasn't redone. The regular maintenance wasn't done on the caulking. Make sure I scratch that. about that. Yeah, this is all gone. Yeah, it's just all gone. It's just all gone. It's not as bad as the other corner, except for this here. That piece will have to get replaced. I'll leave it there for reference. But we want to see how far this goes over. Oh, it goes right to here. That's it. Just goes right to there. All right, so let's see the back wall. Feels like it just goes about to this point here. So we'll do this. And we'll come across here. The floor, that's what's left, right, guys? Okay, let me get reorganized here, get some of this cleaned up, and then we'll try the floor. Well, I'm sure it don't look the best as far as the lighting in here, but you can see what I've got ahead of me. It's basically from this point back. That needs replaced. All that wood needs replaced. It is solid up here. I know that it's discolored because water did get and protrude up underneath the vinyl. You know, the vinyl held some, but it's solid. What we'll do is we'll put some sort of a primer top seal on the wood that's solid, and the solid wood starts about right about here. This way is all solid, but we'll put some sort of primer seal on that solidifies it. I don't know if you guys know, but they make paint and stuff that will go over mold and will solidify it, make it, you know, kill the organic part of it, the organism, and actually make it solid. So we'll do that, and then of course we'll cut out all the bad wood and replace it with good wood. I'll have to see how thick the plywood is, have to figure that out. And then there's some trusses, there are some supports like this one here that needs replaced. I'm sure there might be a couple more. And then of course the wood in the corner. This is all pretty straightforward. Let me give you a little bit more lighting here. This is all pretty straightforward, believe it or not. It's not horrible. The hardest part for me, by far, no doubt in my mind, it's definitely the hardest part, is whenever you're trying to transition what is already existing into your repair. So I need to make sure that whatever wood I find is relatively the right thickness and consistency of what's already up there. I have to make some nice straight lines, put the wood in to those areas, you know, same here, straight lines, and then at that point find, in this case, some sort of wallpaper, which is unique to RVs. Again, it's real thick. It's a moisture resistant, like a vinyl, almost like shelf paper. We'll have to put that over the wood that we replace, and of course I have to put the batten insulation back in, which you can see how it's stuck to the aluminum there, and that's done with spray, which I have spray. And you know, there's some wood like the tail light support. I need to replace that. That piece is pretty solid, but the side pieces not so much. I'll have to fix those. And again, the wood that's at the bottom, that's pretty destroyed. We'll fix that also. And then again, we'll cut this piece here and replace it with one good solid piece of wood. But we have to dry it out first. And then underneath, what I'll do, it is insulation underneath there, in between the vapor barrier that they have or the road barrier. I might cut that road barrier out and put up some coroplast, because that's what the new RVs do. That's what we had in our Rockwood in our fifth wheel, believe it or not. It's a big heavy piece of coroplast that has reflectix adhered to the backside of it, and that's all that insulates the bottom of, you know, a $90,000 fifth wheel. That's what insulates the bottom of it and makes it pretty darn quiet and heat resistant, and of course cold penetrating. So we could do the same here. All right, so the poop cover tape measure is hooked up to that shelf back there. Let's say right to there. Let's see how many feet that is. 40 feet 7 inches. Okay, it's got to fit, right? The truck it's not a long truck. It's a long bed, but wow, it's going to be close, I guess. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, I went ahead and got the jacks up and everything but the wheel leveler things there, which I get a hold of Jack at Beach Lane and tell him I need some levelers, because those were the best, and I have not seen anything that even come close to replacing them, other than the ones that he upgraded to, some interlock ones. I don't know how much I would use those compared to the regular levelers. I don't know. Anyways, you can see I just Mickey Mouse this and threw a bolt through there real quick. It's not like I'm going anywhere. I'm just backing into the pole building there. But like everything else, I think I got sidetracked. Seeing how I'm already hooked up to the truck and seeing how I'm getting ready to unplug the RV, which means that there'll just be battery power out here. What do you guys think? Think I should change the jack? I mean, I have an electric jack for this. What could go wrong, right? Okay, let's get it out and go ahead and do it. With previous reviews that I've done on a bumper jack, or a not a bumper jack, a tongue jack, sorry, tongue jack. I'm going to do everything I can not to say anything to do with taking and removing the jack or taking it off. It's hard not to say certain things just because it might be the correct phrasing. So what I'm talking about is, this isn't a review, but you'll be able to see this and decide if this is something you want. I'll put a link in the description. Whenever I did our last RV, our travel trailer, when we installed a jack on it, that was the Terry camper, and I wanted the best jack available, and I think that Husky 3500 was it. So go back and look at that review. There's a lot of nice features on that one, and it's not a smart jack, it's just a very well built jack. It has ball bearings in the screw elevator for reduced friction, and of course longevity. Of course, you know, the motor doesn't have to work as hard. There's a lot of nice features to that one. Well, that's not what this one is. What this one is I went through the reviews on Amazon. I seen which one looked pretty darn good. I didn't want to get the cheapest one. I didn't care if it was a smart jack, because a lot of times I'll use you know, some sort of a, before I was using a Level May Pro, but again, Jack out there at Beach Lane, he has, and I kind of helped him. I think I helped him. Jack, if you're watching this, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But he got my feedback on an app that has a device that he sells and an app that he helped design that basically will tell you if your RV is level. Anyways, I'm going to have one of those, and that kind of makes that whole smart jack thing obsolete. You don't need to necessarily recall your hitch height when you can do it with one of those apps and one of those devices, which do a lot more than just recall hitch height. So this one here, I don't know the name. All that is going to be in the description. We'll get this out. You'll see it just, you know, as much as I will here, and what it looks like. I did open this. Oh, I opened the other end. What an idiot. I guess it don't make a difference. Don't worry, it's not that big of a deal because you're doing that already, most likely. Containers. I always have containers for stuff. They give you a cover to cover the head. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. If you guys don't know, to install a tongue jack has got to be one of the more simpler things that you can do. All it is just removing your old one, putting your new one on, and then running a power wire to it. And why are you saying, oh, well, what about the ground? You can run a ground, but you don't need to. These star washers, that's what they're saying here. You must use the star washer under the head of the bolt and above the nut to ensure the ground from the trailer jack. Now, I don't think mine has nuts underneath. It could be. You know what? Now I think about it, they must. But what these stars do is they bust the paint. They break the paint and they make it to where you can then ground the jack on the trailer frame, which the whole frame of the jack is already grounded. So yeah, this, like I said, it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. All right, so I'm just got to deal with the dog next door barking its head off. I don't understand why people just let their dogs bark. It doesn't make any sense. You know, the dog wants something. All right, let's see how this works out. I got a 9/16 here. Yeah, it's just a self-tapper. That's gonna be interesting, guys. Self-tappers don't like to be reused. And I don't know if I have any bolts that are this size. Again, that's one of the disadvantages to just going at it. So here's the old jack. Like I said, there's not a lot to this. There's really no science to all this. So I've got to kind of take in, you know, do some detective work here and think about how I want to do this. Because I don't know if these nuts, I don't know if the lock washers and those bolts are enough to break the paint and get this thing to do its thing. Let me get this off. Take that pin out. Put that there. And this is where everybody says, oh, I don't know if I wanted to, I might want to turn the head of the jack to, you know, like this. It doesn't line up. That don't line up. You have to have one that has the ability to do that. And what they're concerned with is when they put their tailgate down, that it hits the jack. Well, I'm going to say that in my case with that Pro Pride, it shouldn't even come close. It might, but anyways, the name of this jack is Bastion, B-A-S-T-I-O-N, and I honestly don't know if what I'm getting ready to do will actually work with grounding it. I could, if I wanted to, take this cover off and find the ground and run a separate ground wire to the battery. I might do that. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe I'll just do it the way they designed it. And this is the difference between me preparing a RV for full-time travel and just preparing an RV that we'll go out with occasionally, you know. I think that's probably where my fault was with my review that I did on the other, is because there's a lot of stuff that I was doing review of product that was, you know, full-time RV, really good quality stuff, something that, you know, I would recommend to anybody to use, even part-timers. However, part-timers would probably not, unfortunately, get to enjoy the full benefits of some of those things. So we'll go ahead and just start these here. I don't know if you've seen, I grabbed carb cleaner. All I did that for was, whoops, let's do it this way. Seems like the teeth are a little bit more aggressive on the bottom there. The reason I did that is because I need to wipe off the little bit of overspray that I have on my bumper. That's the only reason I had carb cleaner. You do not need carb cleaner for this install. And hopefully the camera's picking all this up pretty well, because I've just got you guys on my helmet, on my hat. Okay, let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Yeah, the carb cleaner will help with the, although this is all plastic, carb cleaner will help with cleaning that up. Same here. Probably should clean this up too. I don't hardly ever use WD-40 for anything, but this was kind of on the rusty side. Okay, so the reason that these washers are here is, again, when this nut gets tightened, or this bolt gets tightened, it is to break the paint and make a connection for the jack that is grounded to the tube to be grounded to the RV then. So hopefully this works out all right. We'll see. I'll probably take this impact and break something. Heidi hates it because I have a tendency to break a lot of stuff just because I'm a little bit more cautious. Ooh, this is gonna be a little tougher to get to. I'm gonna have to use my my wobble extension for this. Now, you're not supposed to for impacts, because you could break the wobble off, but I'm just going to get it tight, and then I'll use a wrench to go the rest of the way. My toolbox is in disarray, like everything else. It's funny how I wanted to use this today. Darn it, I forgot. It's funny how everything needs to be done at the same time. There we go. And you know, you just don't have the time to do everything. I hear the guy across the street and across the way mowing his lawn, and I know that he mowed the lawn the same day that I mowed my lawn, but I think my yard might be a little bit more wet back here than his. Okay, so we'll do a little angle action here. Go to this one. All right, then go to this one. This one's a little bit tougher. All right, now we'll use the breaker bar and snug it down. Or the yeah, I guess this is a breaker bar, right? It turned it a little. Yeah, turn that one a little too. And finally, the last one. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this one. Okay, that's pretty much it as far as mounting it. I do need to put this foot back on here, but I don't like this pin. I wonder if I have a different flip pin. Yeah. If I do, I don't know where it's going to be. I guess I'll just use this pin for now. That'll be something that I look for on another day. And what I'm talking about is it's got a built-in bail on it. So when you put the pin through, you just, it's already connected. You just flip it over and it locks in place instead of having a separate clip that you can lose. The last thing I want to do is lose a piece that I need to hold the foot of the jack on the vehicle. I still haven't said that other word. Is it amazing? I did on the last video, I'll tell you that. The one that I did a jack install. We'll go ahead and put this in. There we go. So if you buy one of these, make sure you get that other type of pin from Harbor Freight. Okay, so what I did was just run the wire direct to the positive terminal on the battery, and I haven't tried it yet. Okay, so at least they have this labeled correctly. Up means RV goes up, down means RV goes down. Ooh, it sounds pretty quick and healthy, right? Now, I could have put the foot down there, and if I would have put the foot underneath down, it wouldn't have to travel as much, but I want to see how far this travels. Just by itself. Isn't that it's traveling slow? It's not traveling fast, I'll say that. But it's because of how much it had to travel without that foot being extended. And whatever you do, try not to bottom out your jack. What I mean is they've got a line there that says where the stopping point is. Just kind of get it close and then bump it a few times. It don't need to be all the way up, guys. It just needs to be up and out of the way. All right, so I'm very happy about that. Very happy. Very, very happy. So now it's time. It's time for me to get this thing backed in. I never did check the height. What do you guys think? Do I need to check it? I don't think that RV can't be that freaking tall. There's just no way. We'll see if we can get this thing back there. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to fit in here. Definitely need to go this way because I'm really close over here. Yeah. Funny part is that, it looks close over here, but I can't see anything over here, so I didn't realize there's this much room. So let's redo it. And I'm kind of concerned about the roof, but there's plenty of room. have so much room over here. Wow. It's going to be a tight fit. The truck, the only thing that's left out there is the doors and the hood. So it's still going to be close. Here, I'll show you. I have that much room left. I left these things overhanging, so if I push them, they'll make some sort of noise. I don't know, what is that, 2 foot? Let's go look at the truck. I can't squeeze through there, so we gotta go this way. I probably could have walked around the other side of the RV now that I've seen that I still have 2 feet left, but I need to get the camera. So I've got another thought going through my head. You can probably hear it rattling. Yeah, wow. Whoops. What do you guys think? Is this 2 feet? I don't think so. I think it's more than 2 feet. Well, the truck don't fit crooked in here. There's too much junk there. If I went back that extra couple feet, maybe then, but again, I don't want to be that close. Let me lower this down a little bit too. It's a little tall. Love that I put this jack on. And I took the other one off. I didn't say it still. When we went full time, we got rid of everything, you know, except what was in the back of the truck and what was in the trailer. Then we downsized even more while we were on the road, and we only had 4 totes that was at our daughter's house in their basement. We didn't have a storage unit. We didn't have anything like that. And here we are with a house that has a 38 by 48 pole building and a 2.5 car garage and a 1,600 square foot living space home and 1,600 square foot basement. And we are pressed for space on some level. We have so much junk already. We've acquired so much stuff. So it's an easy trap to fall into. And a lot of this has to do with homeowner, you know, being a homeowner and wanting to still go RVing. I mean, the fact that I need a mower to mow the yard, I mean, I have a 0 turn. That's something that I purchased for the other house. We were hoping just to get away with a snowblower, but as we found out when we moved to this house, I needed a plow tractor. Now, the utility trailer, the whole reason for that was to move the 0 turn and whatever else we may need to in the future. But the fact that the garage is full of stuff and it's not even organized, maybe that has something to do with it, right? So yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how much stuff we have in just 2 years' time. We quit full-timing just about 2 years ago, and we're already stuffed full of things. It's just incredible. I forgot about that light hanging down. Good thing it's elevated pretty decent. But yeah, I've got I gotta organize out here. We gotta fix the roof because it leaks. Not horribly, but it does leak when it rains. And yeah, we've got to get rid of all that junk. We got to get rid of junk. We got to get rid of our stuff. That some of that may be junk. But again, I'm kind of almost shocked that we went from having a storage unit They came from our fifth wheel. And not even all of that. Some of that was review stuff that we had. We needed storage space. But we had basically a small, I think it was a 8x10, maybe a 10x10 storage unit. 10x10, I think it was 10x10 storage unit. And that was it. That's all we owned. And now we have all of this stuff. Wow, it's crazy. Okay, let me get the RV plugged in, set up, and I hear the birds. They're going to be crapping all over the RV. That's going to be nice. And yeah, I still got to clean out the garage. Yikes. Good morning, YouTube. This is going to be a quick update. Oh, check that out. And that's something. Anyways, the wind's really blowing around today, and that's why it's going to be a quick update, because today's storm day. I don't know what that means. I don't know how hard the wind's going to blow, but we have an alert that is put on our state, this area, that is only issued about 1 to 3 times a year. So it's just going to be different. So that's why all the work yesterday, that's why the everything's in the pole building. That's why I had to get the lawn mowed as quickly as possible. And now I'm just finishing up the last few things, and that is I'm going to put this trash can and our other 2 trash cans somewhere in the garage. So we don't know how much the storm's going to actually do, but we've got to prepare for it. Good morning, YouTube. Look how barren it looks. No cans, no cars. Looks like the driveway's real big. So our son, he took off to work, but how do you guys feel about this? I spent probably an hour straightening out the pole building back there, which we'll go to in a second. And then I spent about a half an hour in here reorganizing everything, right? And bringing in these cans, but more than anything, reorganizing and moving heavy boxes so that I could get the truck in here, so that Heidi could park her car on this side of the garage, because my truck wouldn't fit necessarily. I may have been able to make it fit, but I doubt it. But I did all that because it's supposed to be, you know, some hail, high winds, tornado potential. It's an elevated risk of a storm, and you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm so glad that the storm wasn't bad, and I'm okay." And then there's other people say, "Oh, I've been out of power for the last 15 hours or whatever." But I don't know how serious I'm going to take the next storm warning because of that. You know, makes me really think about it. I just don't know. All right, I just see something on my truck because of being parked in here. It's kind of interesting. And I'm going to try to read it. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. Let me flip you over to a higher contrast on the phone, or a better setting. Okay, let's see here. I see something on the bed of the truck that's being highlighted by these LED lights that are shining right on it. And it says Charlton, New York. Charlton, New York. The truck did come from New York. Charlton, New York. S. Glens Falls, New York. Melrose, New York. Huh. I'll have to look that up. So that makes me think that maybe there's something that was on the door that was taken off at some point. But that's a bit, you know, I knew this truck was a company truck of some kind, a commercial truck, but I don't know what that is. I mean, those are locations. I'm sure they're all close together, and it could be that this guy was a plumber. I mean, I'm just guessing. And those were the locations that he covered. But yeah, I thought that was kind of strange that I seen that lettering on the truck. Yikes. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, I knew it was a commercial truck. I was just, the sad part is the stupid air conditioning quit working. When I was pulling it out, the truck struggled a little bit. I had to put the locker on. It's got an electronic locker for the differential. And I mean, it got it out, but it's like, they said it struggled a little bit. Well, then when I was setting it up in the, in the driveway there, I got the wheel chock out of the pass-through. I got a big rubber heavy wheel chocks that I've had for quite some time. And those wheel chocks that I had before that I made don't work. The axles are too far apart. I got to replace the wood and everything if I continue to use those. Which again, I think I might get in touch with Beach Lane. I think they have some X chocks that, see if maybe I try those out. But anyways, I couldn't find the other wheel chock. Man, I'll tell you what, that truck's pretty good. I didn't even spin a tire in here whenever I pulled the RV out. And look at this. I forgot I put a wheel chock down when I disconnected it. Look, that truck said, no problem. I'll just pull it right out from rubber top there. Stupid birds. I could sit out here with my pellet gun all day and take care of things, but this is much harder packed than I thought in here. So now I'm thinking that maybe I just need to grade this up. Remember I talked about doing that in the driveway? And instead I got gravel. Well, I think if I just grade all this stuff up, because it's definitely packed in here real well. Yeah, yikes. I don't know what I was thinking. So let me close this barn back up, running over the wheel chock. That's hilarious. Good morning, friends. Welcome to, it's supposed to be a storm-filled day. I'm sure we're going to have storms. I'm sure of it. We had rain last night. I got to do something about this cover. I keep on forgetting. See how the water runs there? And see how it sits on the corner? Well, that little lip isn't down tight on that side either. So the water runs back in. Here a bird that's not very happy. So the trash man just went. I got to go get the trash. I got a good update for the driveway. We got a guy coming and going to seal off our driveway for us. And sounds like he's got a pretty good price. I'm trying to get out to the garage here. You guys get to see a sneak peek of a review that, well, I don't know if the review will be up by the time this video is up. But that's a cool little bike, right? Little pit bike looking thing. I got to get something out of the pole building tonight. Listen how loud the peepers are. Man, it's almost annoying they're so loud. It's crazy.
Probably a little bit of hail in southern Ashtabula County. When I look at my off-screen radar source, yeah, southern Ashtabula, probably northwestern Trumbull, probably trying to see at least a few hailstones out through here as well. Bristol, up towards the Geauga County line near Middlefield. Nothing all that severe in terms of the hail, but the wind threat is certainly there. You know, I bring up the
Lake Chicony on. The National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm watch number 210, effective until 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This watch includes the following counties in Ohio: Carroll, Columbiana, Mahoning, Portage, Stark, and Trumbull, and the following counties in Pennsylvania: Lawrence and Mercer, and Geneva on the Lake Chicony on.
Down here editing video, and the alert upstairs is going off about storms, but man, we dodged a bullet on this one, let me tell you. It's much nicer out here than it could be. So you can see this direction, you know, there's clouds because it's just typical storm weather, right? But man, north of here, holy cow, look at this. There's some wicked stuff going on up there. You can see it on the radar. I'll put an overlay here. But man, is it bad up there. I wouldn't want to be up there. We got lucky. I mean, it could have been bad. Let me just say that. But yeah, we're 0 for 2 on these pretty massive storms that have come through. They're just missing us.